Lots of ways that you can get your creativity going, but the way that I do it is through creative artwork. So color, design. I'm not really, like I draw, I don't really paint, particularly I like watercolor. Whatever you like, you can use. What I'm going to provide you is a framework for creating something meaningful, yet something beautiful, yet something that has, it's not just a pretty picture, it has some content that is you can see and some content that you can't, that you know is in there. So you can use whatever materials you like. I've just suggested colour pencils and textures because that's what most people have. So I've got quite a big range, but you don't need a big range. Hi Mish, hi Tracy. Not sure how long the buffering is. All right, see how you go, Tracy. Oh, hi Tracy, how are you? Good to see you as well. So thanks for being here. So I know some of you who will be doing this and are quite accomplished artists on your own. So, no matter what level you're at, I'm going to be pitching this or teaching this at a level that is for someone who needs some guidelines, wants me to help explain how to do something and showing how to do it. But when you're more experienced, you don't need to do that. You can do it within, I'll just provide a framework, and within that you use your own expression. Everybody, of course, but some people are more confident and some people are less. So I'm going to work with the people who are less confident and allow those who are more confident to just do your own thing. Gloria, good to see you. Nice to meet you. Happy to be here too, wondering where this will lead. Well, you know what? It's just a way for you to really discover your creative energy. And your creative energy is, in terms of energetic sense, it's this here is your third eye, is your vision, all right? We use this part here. Most creativity they talk about as being one of the lower chakras, the sacral chakra. And it's kind of both. It's not just one or the other. So when we're doing artwork, which is color, and I'm really asking you to also use your insight. So I'll explain that more in a minute. So all you'll need for tonight is some paper. So if you've got I've got like an old A4, just a student, it's nothing special, student folder. You could use photocopy paper. You can use whatever you like. You've got a journal, nice journal, whatever you like. And just some drawing materials. What I would ask you to have is either a black pen or a black texter if you've got one, or a texter that you can use for outlining. So I'm going to, if you're following along with me, that's what I'm going to do. So this is the one I already created because I was practicing. I'm like, what are we going to do? So this is the one I did today. So I'm hoping it's not going to take you too long, but the way I've structured it is that probably tonight will be about an hour. So I hope you've got some nice cup of tea, glass of wine, just settle in, relax. And then if you don't finish, you can always finish later. All right. So what I'll help you do is get the bulk of it done up front so you can add the color later. Yeah, you got an old A4 up. Perfect, Gloria. Perfect. All right. So this is going to be cool. All right. So when I turn my iPad around, you're going to see my desktop. And it might jiggle around. I'm not sure if you're going to turn upside down and do all kinds of things, but I have to sort of make it so that, and see how it works. It's the first time I will have done that this way, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think that's all you need to know. You'll need a pen to start with, and you'll need a piece of paper to start with. We're going to do a little bit of writing. Hi, Shirley. Gosh, that must be in the middle of the night. A piece of paper to start with. I'm going to ask you some questions which you write down, and then I'm going to take you into through step by step through the process. So it's actually quite clear what you can do, and then within that you add your own sense of design, your own what's very individual to you. All right. So why don't we get started? Okay. So the first thing I want you to do, so I'm going to put this one aside. The first thing I want you to do is get out your. So I've got a couple of different pens. I'm going to draw with a pen, a black texter right from the start, just because otherwise you won't be able to see it. You can certainly do yours in pencil and then go over it later. But I'm going to start with, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. But before we do that, I just want you to bring yourself into into yourself. So just take a deep breath in and just relax. Just let the day go. If it's the middle of the night, if it's the morning for you, just relax. Let everything else that you have to do, let the week go, let everything else just go. Just relax. And then gathering any energy that belongs to you that you've left anywhere in your travels. I'm just going to adjust you here. That you've left anywhere in your travels. Just with your intention, just gather it, bring it into you so you can be fully present in the moment. Just take a deep breath in. And just relax. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions to start with. So the first thing I'm going to ask you, and this is something I want you to write down. So on a spare piece of paper, so you just need one extra piece of paper. And this is just like, it's just a spare piece. Anything else, it could be just a blank piece. It could be on another sheet. I want you to think about some people that you really admire. So who are some people you really admire, whether they be people in your life, famous people? So for example, I really admire Wayne Dyer. I admire my mum. I admire, think about people you really admire, and I want you to write down 5 or 6 qualities that they have. I want you to write down 5 or 6 qualities, which are the things that you really admire. So for example, I really admire Wayne Dyer because he's humble. And when I write, you're going to see it backwards and upside down, so don't worry. So he's humble. I really admire my mum. She's just really calm. So I want you to write 5 qualities. Write down 5 qualities that are things you admire in other people. I admire also people who are really unique. And so just write 5 qualities, things that really are that you admire in others. I'm going to put creative, and I'm going to put I admire leaders, people who are leaders. I think Wayne Dyer was a leader. So I've got 5 qualities there. All right, and we're going to put on the same page, I'm going to get you to, now I want you to just practice a couple of, sort of like, if you were to do a doodle, what sort of shapes would you do? And I want you to just on the page, for example, one of the things I often do is spirals. I want you to just draw a few things on the page that you might normally doodle. So would you do spirally things like this? Do you do lots of circles? Do you like sort of geometric things? Maybe you kind of do this type of thing. What do you like? What do you draw? Do you like sort of things that weave around, kind of like little ivy things? Would you draw sort of things that curl around that have leaves or flowers on them? Would you draw sort of like flower shapes? Just draw some different shapes, some different things that come to you. There's different types of, I often draw flowers that have kind of spiky, not spiky, but more pointy shapes like that. Sometimes I will do spirals with lines next to them. Sometimes I'll draw the sun, sort of this type of thing. So I want you to just do some doodles, and I'll tell you why shortly. So just do some doodles, just do some things that have fairly defined shape, that are line drawings, line shapes. And if you don't normally do anything, just copy some of mine. If you're someone who's just getting back into your creativity and just getting a feel for it again, Just have a bit of a practice with something. Sometimes people, you know, kind of do numbers, you know, you can kind of do these sort of shapes, you know, there's infinity shapes, like that. What's the sort of shape you would do? I like curly things. So one of the ones I often do is a heart, you know, you've seen it. It's just one of the things. And I used to have earrings that were like this, and I've always been drawn to curly shapes and hearts. There might be other sort of shapes you have. Just hearts. Whoops. There might be other sort of shapes you have. Turn that right down. All right, let me just have a look at what I'm just checking your comments without it. All right. Are you getting ready for work, Shelley? All right. All right. Yeah, 6 a.m. Sorry, it's at the wrong time for you. I wanted to make it in the UK. I have a couple of people who are here as well, and they couldn't attend any of the others because they were always at the wrong time. Okay, so you got some sort of shapes there. How's that going for you? Give me an idea. Hi, Cole. Good to see you. And let me just see. Who else is here? I think I saw Tanya, the other Tanya here, didn't I? Or did I? Want to see, swipe left to see my viewers. Right. Well, that didn't work. I'm just working on my phone here. All right. So I'm just keeping that up there so I can see what comments you make. All right. So you should have 5 qualities and some sort of like little doodles, things that you would normally doodle. Sometimes you might do like moon, you know, it can be like a moon shapes, moon, sun, stars is another one. What sort of thing would you usually do? Just have a bit of a practice. What sort of thing? And this is going to be used later. All right, so how are we going with that? So what I want to know is, oh, Tracy's, spiraling stars, Tanya, cool. Yeah, good to get back to yourself, Tracy Shaito, I know. Got to be creative. And Gloria, she likes, I do leafy of some things and flowers and hearts, beautiful. Lots of swirls, Shelley, perfect. All right, so have a bit of an idea of a couple of different things that you like. You can always copy some things from me. When I'm looking for inspiration, I always look at what other people do, and then it always turns out different. Even if you use the same element, I don't mind if you use anything that I've got here. I mean, they're just shapes, right? It always turns out different in the end because you have your own expression. You just need to let that. It'll always look different than someone else's. Stars, trail of flowers and leaves. Beautiful. Thanks, Gloria. Fantastic. All right. So here's what I want to say to you. These things that you wrote down, these qualities, and I'm gonna speak energetically and sort of spiritually now, is these qualities that you see in other people that you really like are actually qualities you have. That's a bit of a kicker, isn't it? All right. So you might not believe it, but it's true. The things we admire in other people are things we have in ourselves. And sometimes that's hard to accept, but it's the truth. The world is reflecting you, especially when you're looking at people that you really admire and you like. The qualities you see in them are also within you. And so tonight we're going to do a creative project. You're going to sit back, relax, and just allow yourself to really, you're going to express, and we're going to put these into an artwork. And these are you. These are going to be your 5 fingers, right? These are going to be 5 qualities that are about you. And in one section of it, I'm going to ask you to write a little bit about it as well. Lots of trailing vines, Tracy, perfect, beautiful. All right. So next part is take either your pencil. So you can put that aside. We're going to come back to that. We're going to use this again. That's like the introduction work. All right, I've made black texture on my page. All right, so let's turn that over. Oh, there's the one I started with earlier today. So that's what I did before I started, exactly the same process. And I wrote some qualities. I wrote more than 5. If you have more than 5, it's fine, but we'll only be using 5. So you can choose whichever ones you like. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I want you to take your page and use, if you're really confident, like you want to go for it, just use a black texter, all right? Because you really can't go wrong with this. And my thing is that even if you make a mistake, you can always cover it up. I make lots of mistakes in my things, and I just cover it up. I've learnt over the years not to worry about it. It's about enjoying the process, not about being really perfect, all right? So I'm going to say to you, any of you who are really like anal about it's got to be perfect, and if it's not really right, it's no good, don't do that. Just let that go. This is not about being perfect. This is about expression. Just enjoy. You've got to allow yourself to enjoy it. If you try to get it perfect, you stop enjoying it, and you'll start sort of getting tense about it and worried that it's not working and all that stuff. All right. So what we're going to start with, I'm going to start with something you've all got available, and that's your hand. So on your page, put your other hand, and then we're going to draw around it. So spread the fingers open a little bit. And make it so that, you know, you kind of put it wherever you like. That's really up to you. How you do it on your page it's completely up to you, right? That's however you want to do it. If you've got a pencil and you want to use a pencil and then you want to go over it later in texter, that's fine too. I'm going to use a pretty thick texter, and all I want you to do is just draw around your hand, all right? So I'm just going to do, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to go in and around, move my fingers a bit so it can get in. Because honestly, afterwards, it doesn't make any difference. All right? That's what you start with. So I want you to do that now. Just get that on your page. And once you've done that, I mean, you can, you know, see the little, I'm going to make the finger the same length there. Once you've done that, I'm going to get you to do a couple of design elements. Now, this is where people are really experienced. You don't have to do this, but this is like going to give you a framework to work within. One of the things I find when people want to do an artwork is they don't quite know what to do next. One of the things I find is if you have a definition of where the page is that you're working to, it will help you with the design later. So here's what I'm going to suggest. I'll show you this one that I did earlier. What I mean is, see how with this one I just drew as if there were a kind of a circle. It's not actually a circle. It's not even. It goes off the page. It doesn't have to be round. If you wanted it, it could be a diamond. It could be, you know, a star shape, right? It could be any shape that you like. So what I want you to do is leaving some space around the hand. Just, you can put a just freehand, a kind of circle like that. If your page is smaller, it might only go, you know, sort of up to the sides. Depends on where it is on the page. But my suggestion is it goes off the page. It's easier. All right. So maybe I'll do something different on this one. So I'll just turn that around so you can actually see that again from your perspective. I should have turned it around so you can see it from your perspective, which is that, you know, it's not even, it's not circular. It doesn't need to be. So I'm just going to say to you again, or if you're worried about it's not even, it has to be, no, it doesn't. Actually, the more uneven it is, the more it looks like it's meant to be that way on purpose. The more you try to make it even, it draws the eye to it that it doesn't look even. All right? So I'm thinking about maybe I'll do something different with this. So you ever think about what do you want to sort of like define the edges here? I might, I might do this time this instead. So I'm just making it up. You do it however you like. You can copy mine because it'll always look different. You can make up your own. I'm just doing it because the last one I did was like that. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is I'm I'm going to ask you to put a second line around the outside. You'll see it on this one. See on this one how there's another line? Because in here we're going to write some stuff. So there needs to be enough room to write some stuff. So just take your pen, it doesn't have to be even, just kind of following the outline. There we are. Pretty easy, right? It's going to look good though, just trust me. We've got a lot more to do yet. So this is like giving us the framework to work within. When you want to start something creative, it's good to have a framework. So we're doing design work here. And you don't have to be a great drawer to do it. You just have to have some ideas to start with, and then you'll start to fill in the spaces in between. Okay, what's the next part? So the next part is, in the center of your hand, there is actually an energy, there's an energy portal here. All right, there's a chakra, there's an energy, I don't know what you call it. Let's call it a chakra anyway. And it's here in the center of your hand. So I want you to draw in the center of your hand here the design that you most resonate with. So in this one, the design I most resonate with is always this heart. So that's what I drew in the center to start with. So choose one of your shapes. So it needs to be something reasonably self-contained. So if you're going to do a vine, it might need to be a vine that sort of turns around and maybe comes around in the center here. Because somehow whatever you've chosen there's an energy of you within that. There's something about you that really resonates for you, that shape. So I'm going to do a different one this time. And you just draw it in the center here. You can use a pencil to do it if you're not confident to start with. I'm going to do, this time I feel like maybe, I'll do a spiral. Maybe I'll do one big spiral. And put it in the center of your hand here, whatever shape it is that represents you. And one of the things what happens in a design is if you've got open shapes like this, sometimes that can be hard later to put colour in because there's no edge, there's no closing gap. It doesn't have to, but sometimes it's good to close it up. And now, the next thing that you can do, if you want to, is you can frame this. So you'll notice in this one, I started with the heart, and then I decided that actually what would be good is if it needs to sit inside a circle. And then I actually put these a bit like a sun around it as well. So what I'm doing is I'm starting to use the same elements, the things that I like spirals. Right, so I put some spirals in here. So you start to think about what elements can you put together and just allow yourself to be creative, all right? There's no rules. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to do this. You can do whatever you want. All right, so I'm just giving you some guidelines that will make it easy for you, especially if you're just getting your confidence back. All right, so I'm going to do the spiral. And I feel like I want to add something around it. Maybe not, I don't want to add a frame, but I feel like I want to add something detailed around it. So I think I might do one of those little leafy things around it. So I'm going to sort of draw a leafy, as if it's kind of coming around. You just work on yours. Hi, Loz. Sorry you came in late. That's all right. Hopefully, oh, it's the minor heart chakra, Jenny. Oh, cool. There you go. Thanks, Serena. So what we did, Loz, is we just started with doing an outline, working with some shapes that you like. We need some music, don't we? If we were hanging out together, we'd have music, wouldn't we, probably? I might put some music on, but I don't want it to be over the top of me. How are you going with your design? If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to take a picture and show us, you can do that too. Well, I think you can, I'm not sure. You message Christy? Oh, cool. Working with it now. Beautiful. All right. So I'm just, yeah, so that's my internal design that I'm going to work with. I'm keeping it pretty simple. Now, the other thing that I often do is I often use 2 different thicknesses markers. So I'm using a really thick one tonight so you can see it. But often I would do the outline in a thicker one, and then I would use a thinner one for the insides, just because it's you know, easier to do finer work. And I'm probably going to use this shortly. It doesn't matter what you have. It's just that's just something I do. It's no big deal. All right. So here we are. Now, what I would like you to do, and here I'm going to give you a choice here. In this one here, you know those 5 qualities? Can you see them where they are in where I put them in my design? They're in my fingers, all right? So you can either put them in the fingers or you can put them in the background. So that's my suggestion anyway. So I've got 3 qualities here. Sorry, 5. All right. You can't see them that well because what I've done is made them into part of the design. You can probably read them if you look carefully. This one says loving. This one is, that one's creative. That one's unique. That one's focused, loving, and can't even remember myself now. Humble, that one is. So I'm going to show you how to put these things. It's almost like what you're doing now is you're creating you on a page, all right? And kind of locking, this is your hand, this is your energy, these are designs that mean something to you, and these are qualities that are actually you, whether you want to kind of see it or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how or give you some suggestions just for how you could write them into the fingers. So if I were to, I'll use the thicker pen so you can see it. So I'm on the page here. All right. So if I were to write the word humble, so I'm left-handed, so I'm just going to tip that so you can see. I probably need to do it. I'll turn it around a bit. Yeah, I'm just thinking if I turn it around, can you see it better? So I'm just going to turn it a bit. Not sure if it makes any difference. Anyway, my suggestion is that you use kind of really long angular letters. So I'm going to write the word humble, right? So I'm going to make sure that the letters all touch the lines. So the U might be a really big one. M, B, L, and the L goes along here, and the E goes along the line here and along there. And what I'm going to suggest that you do is I'm going to suggest that you close off the fingers. You don't need to do that, but that's what I did. If you just draw some lines across the fingers like that, it closes the fingers off so that you can easily colour them without having to work out how this part here runs into that part there. So first you just write the words in. So another one that I had was calm. So I'm going to put calm in my thumb. I'm going to put calm here. I forgot to close the thumb off. There we go. I'm going to make it fit in there. It follows the shape. And then I'm going to do unique here. So you make it fill the finger all the way to the end. creative. Yeah, I could put some music on. Can't post while you're watching. Oh, all right. Thanks, Shelley. Yeah, I could put some music on. Let me see. I'll put it on. It's a good idea. I'll put it on the background. Oh, it won't let me do it. Hold on. I'll have to turn it up. It might turn it off when I go back to Facebook. Yeah, no, I can't. Bugger. Can't do music and watch you on Facebook at the same time. Watch your messages. I don't think I have, and I don't have another device I can use. You'll have to put your own music on, guys. Put your own music on. I'll work that out for next time. I'll work out how I can have music at the same time. All right, so just put them in the fingers. What's my other one? Leader. Here, I'm going to put this in here. Leader, L-E-A-D-E-R. Right. So just put them in your fingers and then I'll show you a way to make that more designy so that you can't be read so easily later on. So what I've got now is got your, this is kind of your energy here. It's like a symbolic, something that is symbolic of you and your energy. We've got some qualities. Oh, I think I might have accidentally turned myself off. Hold on. Where am I? All right. Where have I gone? Okay, now I'm back. Oh, I have to turn my sound down. Sorry about the music, guys. All right. Where have I gone? Technology. All right, cool. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to turn this around, try to show you so that you can see what I'm doing with the letters. So if you want to make something, so we've got here is we're going to make these into a design. So they're letters, but they're also shapes. So I'm just going to show you how you can transform something that's already there and make it look different. So what you do is, what I do first is sometimes you can add another line. Get a texture that works. Add another line. You can draw another shape within. You can draw another shape here in another, come down from the top. You can add more lines in here. Follow the lines that are already there. You can add another shape in here. You can copy the same shape. And what we'll come back do is come back and do later, what you'll do is add color in different ways and you won't be able to actually read it anymore. So you can make double lines. You can start by adding lines. You can make this into a shape. If you like, you can put lines going the other way. You can make a shape inside a shape. You can make a shape inside a shape here. Same thing, following. You can draw lines the other way. Getting the idea? Am I going too fast or are you keeping up? So if you wanted to, you could do a couple of lines going across this way. All right? Completely random, but what you're doing is creating a design from those letters. Keep it simple. That way it's easy to add colour later. It's a bit like it becomes your own, you're creating your own colouring book in a way, your own colouring design. A good colouring design is simple, it has contained shapes. Except this one is all about you and your energy. This is totally about you. So afterwards, this has like an amazing energy on the page that's about, it's all about you. All right, so maybe I'll go across this way. All good, Erina, thank you. So just enjoy yourself, let yourself, there's no right or wrong. You know, you can add things that where lines are closer together. You can add some where lines are further apart. And that adds, it's the same element, you're just drawing them in different directions. So just keep going, just enjoy yourself. And it's always good to leave some areas without too much detail, because it gives more contrast, because when you colour it in later, it's good to have some areas where there's more detail and some where there's less. And if you've got something like this where the E isn't touching the A, I would take it across and make it touch. So it closes the shape, closes the space. All right. Okay. So that's how mine's looking. You happy with how yours is going? How far are you along? Am I going too fast? Are you going okay? All good. Thanks, Erina. Hi, Juliet. How are you? All right. So when you come to the part where you think you finished this area here, will you just kind of go, yeah, I'm done? Because I want to give you enough time to do that. Not hurry you along, but feel like you've had enough time to do it. Just say, yeah, I'm done, and I'll go on to the next bit. In the meantime, I'm just going to, I'll say you're good. Oh, good. Good. You're good, Juliet. All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna add a little more detail to this area here. Maybe not. One thing that I am aware of is when something has a lot of space like this, it lends itself to tone changes later on. So what I mean is when you're thinking about adding colour, for example, this is a really open area, and so are these. It lends itself to being able to have. I like to have things where it changes tone. So that's why having an open area is often really good, because it provides more balance and it lets you do that, and it kind of stands out. Whereas when you've got a lot of detail, you can't do that with so much effect. So that's a tip. So that's why I think I might leave this open in order to do the same thing. Gloria, you're done. Erina, you're done. Tanya, you're done. Tracy, you're done. Cool. Okay. So, Gloria, you're done. Yep. Beautiful. So here's the next thing I want you to do. So in this space around here, when I said to you earlier, after you'd written these qualities, when I said to you, these are actually within you. This is you. The qualities you're seeing are the world is a reflection of you. What was your reaction to that? Did you want to push some of them away? Did you want to deny it? Did you want to say, oh no, I just want to be like that? It's not really me. I'm not really like that. And so what I want you to do is I want you to write some thoughts in here. And how I want you to write it is so it's not readable. You don't need to read it again yourself, and nobody else needs to read it. I'll show you the one I've written here. So I've written some stuff here. It's just like, you know, just a flow of thoughts. So take your pen. This one you need to do in pen, not in pencil. It doesn't matter if it makes sense. All the letters should run together. It's not something you need to read again later. All right. So you purposely write it in a way that is unreadable. All right. So if I ask you the question, what went on inside of you when I said these qualities are within you? Was there one of them that you went, no, I'm not, that's not like me? You've done this before? Yeah, good one, Erina. Linda, you're already cool. Yeah, so it's a common one. Well, it's not that common. It's not common to do this when you're doing an artwork. If you're doing art therapy, it probably is, but this is not art therapy. But what I want you to do in an energetic sense is to really tune into, was there one that you really denied? And just allow yourself sort of free expression writing, a bit like flow writing, and you just write whatever's in your mind and write it in a way that means it can't be read. All right, so I'll do the same thing. So just have a think about it, and you can just write, you can even write more than one sentence, you know, you don't have to make really big letters. You could do two, so you could go around and come back again. Up to you. You do it your way. So you're really writing as if, because you don't want to be able to read it again. So you run all the letters together. Just filling in the last bits, Cole? Okay, great. So what we're doing here now is just writing. It's sort of like, what's that? It's just, I forget the name of it. What's that writing where you just, automatic writing. So just write exactly what you're thinking, but run all the letters together. Yeah, so Cole, what we're doing is we're writing here in this gap around the fingers, and you're answering the question. So when I said to you that these qualities are within you, what was your response? What was your thought? What was your feeling? And was there one that stood out or two that stood out? It's like, oh no, I just want to be like that. I'm not like that. And if you were to really acknowledge that it were true, what happens within you? What thoughts do you have? So you write it here. Remember how we drew an extra line around the hand? So you write it in between, in this space here. So you can see I'm starting to write here. You got it? Yeah, good. Okay, you got it. Good on you, Cole. Oh, hi, Pat. You've been sketching in the garden. Yeah, okay. Not to worry. That's all right. Replay will be here. Different kind of thing than you normally do. But you know, the replay will be here. Love to see what you do with it. Oh, you caught up, Tracy? Cool. All right. Sorry, we're all going at different paces. If there's anything you need me to repeat, just feel free to ask. We're coming up to, how long have we been on? I won't be repeating it. Yeah, you can catch it not live later. Yeah, the replay. Okay, so we're coming up to an hour. So most of you should have most of the basics done, because I know, Cole, you got something on. So this is the basics of what, this is the format here. Now I've got a couple more things to suggest, and then the rest of it will be up to you, how you add the colour. Now you've got the framework. Now you've got, as if you opened up a colouring book, now you've got the outline, right? You've got it all here, and all you've got to do is choose how you're going to add the colour. So you're done, Erina. Cool. I'm just going to finish my line here. Yeah, so I'll probably do another line of writing after I'm finished tonight to fill in the space, but you don't actually have to. You can do it however you like. This one looks a bit different than my other one. Tracy, you're done. Tanya, you're done. Cool. All right. So you've got now you've got the basics. The thing that you can do now is you can ask yourself, do you feel satisfied with this area here? Now you can look at this area here from a design perspective and see how do you want to add a bit more detail around here. So in the other one, I just added some more lines, and I added some little hoopy things, and then some other little circles on the inside, and then I added a few wavy lines. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to, you're done, Tanya, cool. I'm going to extend the lines outwards like this. So I'm going to add a bit more structure to the background, and then I think I'm going to add a little more design element to this. So sometimes you can just do basically a double line, all right? That's the easiest thing to do. And then later you can add something within that line. It doesn't have to be even, it doesn't even have to be the same. Doesn't have to be anything. Just add a bit of something else, so that when you come to colour it in or to add colour, there's sort of some shapes there for you to work with. Gloria, you've done it. Cool. Excellent. So add a bit of something here. If you want, you can add, sometimes I like to add a little bit of something smaller as well. For example, you know, I might take one of the elements here and add it out here. So it makes the design cohesive. So I might take this here, this vine, that's kind of appealing to me, or I might take a shape that's in here and use it out here as well. So I think I'm just going to add the design. I'm going to add this vine kind of shape to this part. I'll just add them in here randomly. I might add another one curling around like that. And to be honest with you, you know, they don't have to be perfect or anything. Once you colour it in, what you're doing is just providing places you can put more different colours. Right? Now I've kept this inside area here white, but you don't have to do that. You can do whatever you like. You're pretty much now you're ready to go. So you're ready to start adding colour. So how about we do a little bit of that? Oops, sorry. Just bumped you then. How about we do a little bit of that, and I'll give you a couple of tips on. I mean, you pretty much know how to colour in, so it's however you want to do this now. You can do it however you like. You've got the outline, you've got everything here. One thing I want to remind you to do is make sure you sign it. All right, you never know where it ends up one day. So put your name on it. While you've got your texter there, put your name on it. And because this is you. This is actually your energy on a page. This is a very sort of, you know, it's energy on a page. This is what I call all these. It's quite a significant, it means something to you. When you look back at this is not just a design. So let's start with some colour. Now, I usually, I like texters, so I have like a bunch of texters. I bought a couple of different boxes of texters because I like to do lots of different colours. I usually start with this. Now, I like to do gradations of colour. So when I look for texters, I look for ones that all have a similar tone, or pencils, or get out like all the reds, yellows, pinks, and like, for example, I have a selection of yellow, lots of yellow, orange, reds. I put them all together so that if I want to do colours mixing together, I have at least the ones, oh, except for that one. I have the all the colours that are similar together. So I feel like I want to do blues in here, this one. So I'm going to use some blues. I've got different, you don't have to have a lot of colours. You can do it all one colour. This is where you get to choose how it's going to work for you. Gloria, you're ready? Cool. Oh, you dated it. Yes, good idea. Good idea. What's the date today? 28th. 28th of the 4th. 17. So I feel like I'm going to do some blues in my... Now, if you might have... watercolor pencils, you could use whatever it is that you like to use. I like lots of bright colors. So I'm going to show you, if you are a person who wants to use gradations of color and you've got different color pencils, you don't have to have this many. Normally what you need is you need a dark one. If you can get about 4 shades that are, so you've got a, there's not a really light one here. It's not a really light blue. So let me have a look at my other, don't think I have one. No, don't have really a light blue. So I've got kind of 3 different shades of blue, or sorry, 4. I think I might put that one. And then what you do is you sort of run the colours together as you use them. These are just coloured pencils. They're not really expensive ones. And so I'm going to start with the darker blue in the centre. And when you use pencils, I know this sounds really, you probably know this, but when you use pencils, it's a good idea that you colour in like one direction and then another direction and then another direction, because on the page, the little bumps on the page don't get coloured in otherwise. So I'm going to go, and what you do when you want to do a gradation in tone is you gradually make it lighter in the area where the next colour is going to start. So you make it really heavy and dark where you're starting off, and then gradually it gets a bit lighter where the next colour is going to start, so that the next colour has a chance to blend in. So I think I might try this one. I'll see how this one looks. And then you just colour over. I mean, I might be telling something you already know, right? Anyway, I'll just share it with you. You colour over the other one until it looks like it's gradually coming into being its own, its colour. This one is getting a bit blunt. You can do little circles, all right, because it gets rid of the pencil lines. All right, and I always go heavier. All right, and then I start to lighten off again when I'm going to do the next colour, next tone. Lost the internet just back on. Okay. Looks like I'm still here. Okay. It might have been, Loz, it might have been, don't know if it was me, everyone, or I missed it if it was. Okay. And then next colour. Add that. How's yours going? You know, another colour I like to use with blue is purple, because they're next to each other. You know, the purple has blue in it, so you can often do a gradation from blue to purple if you can find a purple that's similar to one of the blues you're using. Done yours, Trace? Cool. So you've done the background, we've done everything. What you done? What have you done? Right, so I'm going to use another tone now. So I'm obviously not going to sit here all night and colour the whole thing. So my aim is to give you, get your, you know, creative juices going again. So that one of the things I find is that often you can be sitting at home thinking, well, I don't know what to draw, or I don't know what sort of design to do. I don't know. You know, I haven't got any inspiration. So tonight's it was about inspiration and making it relevant to you, making it something that is actually about you, that has meaning. So that was my aim. I hope I have achieved it. And what I'd love you to do is share yours once you're finished. Once you've finished, I'd love you to share it in the group how yours turns out. All right, so I'm getting to the end of my... So what I did was actually I started out with the dark, went through, and I've actually come back to the same colour again. And what you do when you want to, if you want to have colours really blend together, use the lightest shade that you can get of the colours you're using and use that over the top. All right, or you can use white. So you could use a white pencil if you want really to be a really good colourer. All right, if you're using pencils, if you use a white pencil, I don't know if I've actually got one. Yeah, if you use a white pencil, it'll actually blend the colours for you. All right, so that's a tip if you didn't know that. White pencil and you can blend them together. If you're using textas or whatever, watercolor or whatever you're using. So I just want to give you some tips on this one, on colour pencils. And I always go really heavy at the end, so I like it to be vibrant. So I go press really heavy where I want it to be really dark the other end, and then start to lighten off as it comes back out. All right, so I might just go over this bit here again, make that darker. All right, I kind of like that. Feel happy about that. All right, so that's how, if you want to do gradations of colour using pencils, that's what you've got to do, is gather some colours together, choose about, what have I got? I've got 5 different blues here. But I could easily also have used blue and purple. This bit here looks a bit like it needs, that's got the white on it. Just adding a bit more blue there. All right, how's yours looking? Thanks, Cole. Yeah, I'd love to see it when you finish it. So now you've got the outline, you can keep going. Beautiful. Thanks for being here. Look forward to seeing how it turns out. So I'm going to keep going for about another 10 or 15 minutes and do a little more talking. Give you a little more tips. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. So I'm going to talk a little bit about colours. Sometimes I see people struggling with colour and how to put things together. I know a lot of you are very experienced, but for those of you who aren't, what I might do is give you a little, might do some of the fingers so that I can talk about how you can use colours and make things stand out. So the first thing is about contrast. There are some colours that really contrast with each other. For example, purple and red, green and red, green and orange. You know, it's because one of them is a warm colour and one of them is a cool colour. So these are the warm ones, these are the warm ones, and these are the cool ones. So the blue, green, purple, and the red, orange, yellow. And when you put them next to each other, they really contrast. So when you want something to really stand out, so I'll show you what I have here. So, you know, I was aware when I did a sort of an extra line around the outside here. So you might want to do that on yours, or you might not. I did a bit of a rainbow colour around the outside. But I was aware when I was doing this that, you know, I'm aware of the colours that I was choosing. Although they seem random, and they are pretty random, I was conscious of carrying the blue through. I was conscious of carrying the yellow through. So I was purposely using some colours similarly, not all the time, but in order that there's some cohesiveness. But, you know, and you can see the, I did some gradation of colour in here with the green. Didn't work that well, but, you know, doesn't matter. And this is gradation of colour. This is the pencil in the background. Looking great. Good, Trace. That's excellent. Thanks, Cole. Yeah, sure. See what I've suggested. Yeah, no problem. So one of the things I like to do is, so I was talking about contrast. So you can do things that contrast, colours that contrast. It doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you like. But when you want something to really stand out, if you put those colours next to each other, it's really good. When you're doing gradations of colour, you're keeping the similar colours together. Or you're keeping all of these kind of colours together. So when you want to do a gradation of colour, if you keep all the warm colours together, or if you keep all the cool colours together, they will look better. Don't try and do a gradation of these. Generally, it won't work. You have to keep them in their separate warm and cool as a simple way of understanding it. And then you can do yellow, because it's like the rainbow. It's red, orange, yellow. Red blends into orange, which blends into yellow. Green, blue, indigo and violet, all right? So it blends across that way. Obviously, there's different types of green and that kind of thing. So you can use lots of different colours within this, but if you keep them in these things, if you want to do gradations, that's how you need to do it. So that's why I said a bit of purple would be good with this, because purple, these are the colours that would, if I wanted to try and mix them, that I could maybe do that, as long as they're similar. All right, so I'm going to start doing some of the letters. Have you got any questions? I like pink. I got in my textas, I like pink and I like purple, because this is like, it's a pinky purple, all right? It has red in it. So even though it's not in the same, this is a pinky purple. And it could lead into that one, but you've got to do it bit by bit. You can't go from that to that, for example, from that to that. You'd have to go from this to this, gradually moving toward purple. And you can easily do pink to purple. And so pink, a brighter pink would come in the middle, first the lighter, paler ones, and then the brighter ones. And this another pink would probably come in there. Sometimes they don't actually come out the same colour as what they look on there, so you have to test them. This is a deeper pink. That might go in there. I'm not quite sure, and that might go. No, I don't think so. I think that would go like that. Anyway, that's why when I see cheap textures, I often buy them so that I'll have a range of different colours. All right, so I like pink and yellow. Pink and yellow goes, and with a bit of orange is nice. All right, so I'm going to start with this sort of warm colours. So I like to just start by just simply add in like that. I just start like that usually, because you want the same area to have the same colour across it for a while. And then I'll start with one of the lighter pinks, which is next to the yellow. And then maybe the next one. Nice colouring page. It is, Wendy. It is. That's what we're doing, is making a personalised colouring in page, basically. So you're actually colouring in yourself. All right. So that was my aim tonight, was to have that you, by the time we sort of, no matter what you get through, at least by the time we've finished the broadcast tonight, you'll have your page outlined. And then all you've got to do is go back and have a bit of fun colouring it in. I think this is calling out for a little bit of orange. And you can see that by the time you add colours in various ways, the words that were there are no longer visible. Well, maybe to you, but not to the eye of the person who's looking. And isn't it so easy? I mean, really? Super easy, right? I guarantee you, you finish this off, someone will say to you, wow, how did you do that? And you will laugh and say it was so easy, because it really is. When I used to teach in high school, it was the same thing, you know. I used to teach art, and everyone has their own way of doing things. You have your own colours that you like. You have your own patterns that you like, things that are more appeal to you. It always comes out differently, even though we're all doing something similar, of a similar style. It never looks the same. And I remember I was working in a boys' school. We were doing, you know, still life design and stuff like that, like you always do in school. And I said to them, you know, I think it was like a year 7 class. I said, are you happy with what you did? And they were all looking like stunned. I said, how many of you thought you couldn't draw? And, you know, 2/3 of the class put up their hand, because none of them thought they could draw. Of course they can. I mean, you're not being asked, you're not drawing the Mona Lisa. Everyone thinks that drawing is always about, you know, you have to be able to draw realistic things. But, you know, it's not true. What it is about confidence. So I think I'm going to do now some other colours like purples. I'm going to do some purples. I'm going to take my purples. And I think I might do the contrasts. I'll put some contrasts with the purples. All right, got a few contrasts. I think I'll go with these. Start with the light ones. How's yours going? Alright, and then we'll just add some purples in. This is the pinky purple. Now, I want to get some feedback from you. So have I been going too fast? Is this the right speed for you? Who's still with me? I mean, I know stuff comes up and people have to leave. Who's still with me and who's still... If you're still with me, just tell me, yeah, I'm here. Oh, I should check and just see, shouldn't I? I can probably have a look. I know, because I know different things, different people have to go or whatever. Cool. Trace, you're still here. Good to see you. Hi, Lars. Good. You're good here. That's good. You're still here. Erina, about to say, oh gosh, yes, not surprising. Thank you so much for being here. This for so late. You're still here, Tanya. Cool. All right. Oh, Linda. Cool. I was wondering if you were still around. Go. Okay. All right. How's it going for you? How's yours looking? Are you happy with how it's coming out? Oh, Tracy, good to see you still here too. Perfect. You'll finish yours tomorrow, Tanya. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing how. I would love to see how it comes out. Love to, love to, love to. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks, Erina. Good to be good. Thanks for staying up so late over in NZ. You liking yours, Trace? Good. Now it's really up to Loz, you're saying text is up, my art room finished tomorrow. Yeah, okay, cool. So now you got the outline, you can go ahead and finish it off. Can I, before you go, can I get some feedback on how did you like that process? Was that something you enjoyed? I'm going to finish mine off later too. What did you think about it? Is that something you enjoyed? Awesome, loved it. Great, thanks, Arina. Perfect. It's a bit of an experiment, really, just to see how can we do it. You're at work, Shelley, listening in. That's cool. Thanks for being here. Loved it. Thanks. I hope it sort of because this was inspired by you, Shelley. So you asked the question, you know, how can we sort of get the creativity going? And I thought, okay, this seems pretty relevant. That's up my alley. You loved it, Tanya. You enjoyed it. Love the color. Yeah, me too. Okay, great. All right, that's really good. So it's sort of successful. You could hear me, and we were kind of going along together. Okay, that's good. Okay. Well, yeah, you liked how it Trace. You liked how it developed through the talk. It's amazing what comes out when you're not really thinking. Yes, yes. Yes, absolutely, it does. Good night, Tanya. Good night. Thanks for being here. All right. Look forward to seeing how you go with it later. That's a lot of fun. It's been good. I got to do this twice today. All right, I think a little bit more yellow here. And then I think I might be ready to finish up for this evening. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I want to share. Okay, I'm going to finish mine off and I'll post it in the group. I'd love to see yours. And all you've got to do now is be creative in the way that you fill it in. And, you know, trust your own judgment, your own intuition for the colours that express you. And it'd be interesting to see how different everybody's is, even though similar. And I like the energy aspect of it, which is that you actually created your hand with those qualities and this symbolic nature of your energy here. It's really quite powerful. So when you look at this, this is actually a picture of you. This is actually you on a page. Beautiful, isn't it? It's very powerful. Loz, you'll have to post it in the group generally, so you'll have to go out of here and post it actually in the group. Oh, Gloria, you're still there. That's good. I wasn't sure if you were still there. Cool. Yeah, so Loz, go out and you'll have to post it in the feed generally. So go back out into Honor Your Heart's Calling group and put a post there. Got it? Cool. All right. Okay, well, I think I'm going to sign off. And I want to say thanks for being here. I think that's probably enough time. And I look forward to seeing what you produce. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, I'll just put myself back on screen. Hey, everyone. All right. So thanks for being here. That was good fun. I'd love to know if that's something you know, that seemed to work pretty well. It was good fun. So I hope you have a good night, have a good day, wherever you are. Thanks for being with me and joining in. Wouldn't have been the same without you. So thanks so much. Okay, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.